Welcome back to my channel. I'm James. Today we're going to be doing an advanced review and deep diving into The Others on 4K Ultra HD from Criterion Collection. Now for this brand new 4K release, I'm going to be doing my exclusive 4K versus the original Blu Ray release image comparisons, where I pull all the native data off of the 4K disc and the original Blu Ray release and compare them up above side by side to show you the native images, if this is worth buying and adding to your collection, and let you know the total quality of this set with my review score. I'm also going to be reviewing MEG 2 The Trench from Warner Brothers, the brand new 4K Ultra HD release, give you my review score and testing analysis, and let you know the quality of this set as well. Now I'm also going to be reviewing LIMBO, the upcoming 4K Ultra HD limited edition MediaBook set. Now this was sent to me about 2.5 weeks early for review, and I'll be sharing with you all of my testing data and results as well as my review score to let you know the total quality of this and if it's something you should buy and add to your collection. But huge shout out and thank you to Cape Light and MPI for sending this to me early for review. But as most of you know, just because something's sent to me for review, it never changes my testing data or my review score. Just I do appreciate when studios send things to me early for review. Now, if after you get done watching these reviews and hearing my review scores for all these 4K releases, you decide you want to buy or add any of these to your collection, I put all the direct Amazon sale links as a pinned comment in the comment section right below this video. That way I've done all of the work for you and made it nice and easy. Those are the direct sale links that it's on sale from Amazon. You click on those, takes you straight out there, and that way you can order your copies. So make sure if you're wanting to buy or add any of these to your collection, always use those direct Amazon sale links I post right down below. Now to start off with, we're going to be comparing to the original Blu Ray release of The Others. And the native images you see up above are always the native images pulled directly from the disc. Now the previous 2020 Blu Ray release that I own, it looked okay. It was much better than the previous releases that were many years before that, but it still had a softer image. It did not have great film grain on it or depth in that image, and all of the colors were completely drained of the entire image. It really just had a very dull appearance. Not that it was ever a vibrant appearance when it was released in theaters, but it was really bad on the original Blu Ray releases. Even the one they released later on in 2020 that I own, it looked a little better, but it still was nothing like it was when I originally saw it in theaters. Now for this new 4K release, this is a native 4K 2160p. As far as HDR goes on this, there is no HDR present on this 4K release anywhere worldwide. Doesn't matter what version you get, there is no HDR or Dolby Vision present anywhere. There's a specific reason for this. The original director actually worked on this 4K restoration where they went and did a brand new 4K scan of the original 35mm camera negatives, and then he worked on this directly. His request, and basically I guess his demand, was that they do not put any HDR or Dolby Vision grading on it because he felt that that deteriorated or took away from the idea and the look that he was going for with this film. Now I can tell you for this new 4K restoration though, they did do a brand new color grading. As you're noticing in those native image comparisons up above, on this new 4K restoration, it does have more life in the image. Colors like the blue on Nicole Kidman's dress, faces, hair, things like that throughout the movie have drastically more lifelike colors to them. It still has that more gothic horror look to it intentionally. Now I will say, as far as the film goes, I love the film. It is one of those really enjoyable gothic horror mysteries. It has some great twists in it and some really good jump scares that you won't see coming. If you haven't experienced this film before, it is one of those films that it doesn't have anything too over the top, but is a really great ride, and by the time you get to the end with the twist, you then say to yourself, man, I enjoyed that film and I want to watch it again. So this is one of those that I was excited when they announced they were doing a 4K restoration and releasing it through the Criterion Collection. Now I can tell you there's another big surprise on this 4K release. We get an English Dolby Atmos mix, and it is extremely dynamic and immersive. So there's numerous scenes throughout it where you'll hear like the creaking of the house and walking through it. Just really the effects and sound effects do so good with this new Dolby Atmos mix. And then all of a sudden you'll hear something like a door slam real loud. And it's got some great use of LFE in it. And it does these things that really just build the tension. And then all of a sudden something really loud happens. And it's used great with the Dolby Atmos where the height effects and the height channels get really good use with this Dolby Atmos mix that I was surprised at areas that when you can hear things ricocheting as they're walking through the house and you hear the sound coming off the ceiling as they're walking through this big house, you can hear those in your height channels. So they did a very good job with the implementation of the Dolby Atmos mix on this. If you enjoy movies and TV series, this channel is the place for you. Make sure to go down there, give this video a like and a thumbs up for me, hit that subscribe button and the bell notification. That way you never miss out on any of these exclusive comparison reviews or videos I release here on my YouTube channel. Now, for this 4K release, I will tell you it does have much better color grading than all the previous Blu-ray releases. But there is one thing I did encounter as far as the 4K image goes. It does have nice depth and detail in it. But film grain wise, it's nicely present from beginning to end, but it is not very stable. There is numerous scenes throughout it that really have a lot of fluctuations in it that you'll notice, some slight flickering, and it's not a very stable image presentation for the film grain. From that scan and restoration they did, it did just kind of introduce some of that basically flickering from the original 35mm elements that they did with that new scan. So the film grain, you will notice, does have instabilities, and they're kind of just out throughout the whole film. One other thing I did encounter in the image, as I did say, it's very nicely detailed, blows away any of the previous Blu-ray's softer appearances. You can see depth and detail in their skin and hair that was never present on the previous Blu-ray releases. But another detractor that I did encounter on this was, it does have quite a bit of digital noise and slight digital blocking throughout the entire runtime. It's not horrible, it's not something that honestly you're gonna notice 99% of people, but because I notice these things, because I test and analyze all of the time on 5 different high-end professionally calibrated displays, I notice these things more and more. Well, in this case, it is noticeable in the background. You'll notice like there's scenes where like the kids are eating dinner or eating lunch, and you'll see behind them, basically on the backgrounds behind them, some digital noise with slight blocking that'll appear. It's not horrible and it doesn't ruin the image, but it does affect the overall review score slightly. That always goes into it. When I test and analyze all of these things like film grain inconsistencies, digital noise, all of those things go into the review score total, so that way you know how this compares to all the hundreds of other 4Ks I've tested and reviewed. Now, another recent 4K release from Criterion that I just recently reviewed, it's actually in my top 4K movie releases that basically I didn't get to review on their own video. I just recently released that and did a review of The Princess Bride 4K versus 4K, and I talk about all of my testing results of The Princess Bride that Criterion Collection released and the original 4K release from Turbine, letting you know the results of both of those and which one came out the winner. So if you want to check out another Criterion Collection review of a big release from Criterion Collection, The Princess Bride, it's in that video if you haven't checked that one out. Now, showing what you get in this, you do get these clear Criterion Collection cases. I wish they said 4K on the front of them. It's always been a pet peeve of mine that I wish Criterion had that on it. Talks about it in here with special features. There's a lot of special features, new conversations, new behind the scenes, new making of. There's a lot of things that are included in this that were never included in the previous Blu-ray release. Now, showing what you get inside here, you do get your booklet, which talks about the film. I always love reading these. And then this is your 4K disc, and this is your Blu-ray disc. Now, getting to the rough average bitrate. For the others on 4K Ultra HD, this had a surprisingly high, extremely healthy and strong rough average bitrate of 96 megabits per second. It was very surprising. I was surprised at how high of a rough average bitrate. So what that tells me is those inconsistencies in the image have to do directly with the scan and 4K restoration that they did. Those things could have probably been ironed out a little bit better, and it would have produced a much better and more stable image without any of those slight inconsistencies. Getting to my review score for the others on 4K Ultra HD, I absolutely love this gothic horror film. I think Nicole Kidman is perfect for the role, and I do think it's one of those gothic horrors that I love having in my collection and watching over and over again. For the others from Criterion Collection on 4K Ultra HD, this gets a very good 9.0. I'm happy I added it to my collection. It blew away the previous Blu-ray releases and was a worthy upgrade that is recommended as a must-buy that you need to buy and add to your collection. I did hope it was going to be in the high 9s. As a lot of you know, a lot of my favorite films, especially for something like the others, I was hoping it was going to be up there. But with the Dolby Atmos mix and the image, because of those slight inconsistencies in the image and things that I encountered, A 9.0 is how it stacks in comparison to hundreds of other 4Ks. So if you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll know exactly what to expect from the image and sound quality on this. It's a 9, it's very good, and you'll enjoy watching it. So the others comes highly recommended, and it is a must buy. You need to buy and add to your collection. Now, any of these you want to buy and add to your collection, I put the direct Amazon sale links right down there below. Those links are always important that you click on those if you decide you're going to buy any of these that I review. They help to support the creation of all of these exclusive videos that you enjoy watching. These image comparisons are extremely time intensive and expensive to create. So make sure if you're going to buy any of these releases ever, always go down to those links that I post as a pinned comment in the comment section right below. They never cost you, the viewer, even a penny extra, but they do drastically make a difference in me being able to continue to create all of this content. Next up, we have MEG 2 The Trench. Now, if you've seen the first MEG film, which I will post that down below as a pinned comment as well, the first one, but both of them are a continuation of basically a sci-fi, you can call it kind of fantasy elements, but sci-fi, basically big monster movies that you have to take as campy, cheesy, there's some horror elements, but just a really good and enjoyable, turn your brain off and have a fun time watching a big special effects film. I enjoy them. For that sense alone that you don't think hard about them, you just have a fun time, sit back, get a drink, and just turn your brain off and just enjoy watching a fun film. I've always really enjoyed the first one. The second one takes things to a whole new level. It definitely increases that basically campy, cheesy, horror, sci-fi fun element and blows it out of the water with numerous new things added to it. I do see a third film coming out to create a trilogy, but for this film we do get a native 4K, which is created from the 4K DI. So because it is a digital source that this is created from, it's a very clean, crisp, and clear picture. You really can't fault the picture at all. It is just incredibly clean and detailed. And it's very nice to experience. And I will tell you, it has a very good implementation of Dolby Vision and HDR10 with brilliant whites, inky blacks, no black crush whatsoever. Colors look amazing on this. Overall, it just has a very beautiful looking image. Now, talking about the audio, this does get a very impressive Dolby Atmos audio mix. Honestly, it's one of those very immersive Dolby Atmos mixes that when you have folks over, you should use this disc to show off your reference home Dolby Atmos audio setup. Now, if you want to know about kind of what I use for my reference home Dolby Atmos home setup, I did a video here on this YouTube channel that goes into how to get yourself a reference home audio system that does Dolby Atmos and DTS:X, and I will tell you, it will drastically change your home theater. That video series is available right now for you to check out. This is one of those though, you pop this disc in and honestly, it is an amazing Dolby Atmos mix. It is extremely strong. Honestly, I had to turn it down. It was so strong in some areas that uses every element of your Dolby Atmos. Height, surrounds, literally the LFE on it builds so amazing on this. I honestly thought it sounded better on this than it did in theaters, which is a really impressive job of the Dolby Atmos mix on this. And if you really haven't gotten a Dolby Atmos home setup, and I'm not talking about just a soundbar. Soundbars do not reproduce an amazing Dolby Atmos home setup like what I talk about in that video. You really need to watch that video and get yourself an immersive Dolby Atmos setup like what I talk about in that video series, because you'll be amazed at how really it draws you into films like this. Now again, remember, I'm not saying it's the award-winning best film I've ever seen, but for just sci-fi fun, you sit back and turn your brain off, man, they provide an absolutely amazing 4K Ultra HD release, both image and sound quality. Now, if you haven't watched the MEG or you haven't watched the MEG 2 yet, basically it's a story of kind of taking Jaws elements but blowing everything out of the water, basically making it that the Megalodon, which is a massive shark, I mean, blows away the size of Jaws. Jaws would be like maybe one of its teeth in comparison. Everything in this is basically taking horror tropes and sci-fi elements, throwing them all together with, in this one, a little bit of Jurassic Park elements thrown into it as well. It kind of adds a whole new element to it. I really enjoy it because of those elements alone. It's a fun time that's really fun movie. Now, showing you what you get in this, you get this really nice shiny slipcover with Warner Brothers 100th anniversary logo on it. It says MEG 2 on the side, The Trench. Talks about it. You get the making of the MEG 2, The Trench, Up from the Depths, Even More Beasts. And then you also get your digital copy code in here. It does come with your 4K Ultra HD disc only. There's no Blu-ray disc included in this set. Now getting to the rough average bitrate, this had a healthy 69 megabits per second. It was nice. I will tell you the image will drastically surprise you because it's a 4K DI that they created this from. It is one of those things because it's a digital source. It's just very clean. And I'll tell you the details in this will surprise you how nice the image looks. Getting to my review score. For the MEG 2 on 4K Ultra HD, this gets a superb 9.2. This is a must buy. You need to buy and add to your collection. Both image quality and sound quality in this 4K release are both superb. This is a 9.2 that you must buy and add to your collection. If you decide you're gonna buy this, as I said, I posted that direct Amazon sale link right down there below. Let me know if you've seen either of the MEGs, the first one or the second one. I'm gonna post both of the sale links for MEG 1 and MEG 2 down below. So if you wanna buy either one, you can use those down below. This one is one of those though, you need to use this to show off your Dolby Atmos home setup. Honestly, people will be amazed at some of the use of Dolby Atmos in this because it was really one of those immersive and explosive Dolby Atmos mixes. I really think Warner Brothers did an amazing job implementing it on this disc. Next up, we have LIMBO, the 2021 Hong Kong. It's more like a crime, mystery, thriller, basically noir elements, and it's done with a monochrome look. So it is one of those black, silver, and white films. And when I say silver, because of the HDR10 implementation on this, and this does have HDR10 Plus, it really does shine off that silver side of it, which is a very unique look where sometimes it almost seems like it's shiny in elements, that it does a really interesting experience for this. It's on purpose the way they implemented it into this film to kind of give it that basically noir look on purpose. It's a monochrome look, and it is a very unique element. I will tell you as far as the film goes, it's a story of two detectives that are finding basically chopped off left hand limbs, and they're trying to discover who this serial killer is, track him down, catch him, and figure out why this is going on, who the people are tied to, why they keep finding left hands, why specifically it's happening, along with drama elements. So one of the detectives had something tragic happen to him, and it's tied to the overarching story that has pieces that are all discovered as you're watching the film. They reveal different elements of his story, which are tied to more elements of what's going on. And it's very well done. Now, this does have English DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 audio mix, which is the dubbed over audio mix. There is the original Cantonese audio that's also in the 5.1 mix. So you can watch it in that with English subtitles as well. So it's up to you whichever one you want. It also has German audio on it. So those are your options if you want to listen to it in any of those audios or with subtitles in each of those languages. You can choose between all of them and mix and match. And it does have inky blacks, brilliant whites with no black crush. And for a film that is, like I said, one of those kind of black, silver, and white films, it desperately needed that HDR10 Plus implementation to be done correctly, and it is. It looks very good on there and does provide the image with those really brilliant whites and inky blacks, which adds to that layer of element of that noir element that they're going for in the film. Now, I will say the film itself was not my favorite film I've ever seen, but it was enjoyable. As far as this limited edition release goes, it was sent to me early for review, about 2.5 weeks early. I do appreciate that, and it's in a limited edition MediaBook. This is the only planned release of it here in the US is in this limited edition MediaBook. It comes with this J card on the outside, and then your book itself basically says Limbo on the sides, and then it has a picture on the back of it. When you get inside here, it does have your 4K Ultra HD disc on the front here. This is region free. And then in here you have a book which is all in black and white. It talks about obviously the film with photos from the film and things that they were going for, the thoughts of what they were going for with the idea behind it. And it is a unique read, it's enjoyable, and I like having those in these media books. And then when you get to the back here, this is your Blu-ray disc. Now for the overall image and sound quality for Limbo on 4K Ultra HD, I listened to it with the 5.1 English audio mix. Overall, it was nice, but I'm not gonna say it was an amazing audio mix. It had its limitations, it did not have absolutely amazing range, and there was some scenes where the clarity was not the best as well. It was harder to hear some of the dialogue with the way that it was done. But as I said, you could at least listen to it. It's just not one of those that I say would be absolutely immersive and an amazing audio mix. So getting to my review score, for Limbo on 4K Ultra HD, this gets a good 8.3. It is one of those, if you like Hong Kong films that are kind of more noir, mysteries, things like that, this is one you might want to check out and add to your collection because it comes in a pretty cool limited edition MediaBook, and I do like collecting 4K releases, and this is one of those that's a pretty cool one to have in your collection because of the stylistic way that they filmed this film. It's got a very unique look and feeling to it overall. Now, if you decide you're going to buy Limbo on 4K, I put that direct Amazon sale link as a pinned comment right down below. Let me know what of these you're excited for now that I've reviewed them, tested, and analyzed them. Let me know what of these you're going to buy and add to your collection with the links I posted down below. I'm always curious, have you seen some of these films? Did you see MEG 1? Have you gotten to check out the others previously? Are you excited to add these to your collection, and what of these are your favorite films? Start that conversation down there in the comment section below. Now, any of these you decide you're gonna buy now, make sure to use those Amazon sale links I posted below. Those are always very important. They help to keep this channel going, and they help to support the creation of all of these videos. So when you buy through those links down there below, they never cost you, the viewer, a penny extra, but they do help to support these videos just a little bit. So remember, it doesn't cost you anything extra when you click on those to support this channel. So make sure any of these you're gonna buy or add to your collection, always use the links down below. If you wanna help to support this channel even more, you can always join my Collectors VIP Club. That drastically helps as well. I wanna say thank you to all my current VIP Club members. You truly are important. Make sure to give this video a like and a thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button and the bell notification. I really hope every one of you truly has a blessed day. And I've always got something new, early, exclusive, and exciting coming out very soon.